Hello there, everyone, and good morning. Well, it might be evening where you are. It certainly is morning where I am. My name is Sarah Hunstead. I am a paediatric nurse, mum of two, and founder of CPR Kids. And today I'm talking to you about safety with kids and sparklers and fireworks, and also what to do if your child is burned. Now, I'd love to answer any questions that you have, so feel free to comment down below as well. And of course, this is only while we're live. Unfortunately, we can't answer questions while if you're watching the recording. I am coming to you from Gadigal country, which is in Sydney, Australia. And what I'd like to start with is let's talk about what the most common causes of burns, particularly around, in the US at the moment, around the July 4 period. And in the under fives, the most common cause of burns around this period of time are sparklers. So, those sparklers, so they can heat up to 2000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is incredible when you think about it. And so that is an intense heat. And so being really, really careful around sparklers, and often children, we see them, they're fun, but they'll grab the tops of them afterwards. They don't realize that they can stay hot for a very, very long time. So being really, really careful that rather than giving little kids sparklers, think about a glow stick. That is, obviously they're not hot. You need to be careful that you inspect it first, make sure that if there is any damage to it, that you don't use it. And of course, the stuff inside a glow stick can be an irritant, particularly to the eyes as well. So being aware of that. So adult supervision or close adult supervision is the most important thing to keep your kids safe during this period. Okay, it's really, really important. But what about fireworks too? So where I am, fireworks are not legal to purchase. They may well be legal to purchase where you are. And so what's really, really important is knowing what the laws are where you live. Okay, so you can go and speak to your local council, fire department, and so on about what is legal where you are. And I guess what the most important things are, well, number one, if you can avoid using fireworks in yourself, go to a professional show. Much safer, much more spectacular as well. So that's a really good way of avoiding any injuries. And of course, if you do choose, and it is legal where you are, to be using fireworks, there must always be an adult present using the fireworks. It's not for kids to use. Too much can go wrong, of course. And that's just common sense. It really is common sense, but accidents still happen. So make sure you always follow the directions that are with the fireworks. Don't try, putting them together, modifying them in any way, because that is another big cause of firework accidents, is when modifications occur. So do not modify them in any way. Make sure that you do follow those directions, that you are only ever doing them outdoors, of course, making sure that adequate hearing protection is being used as well, not only by you, but the kids too. And also, what's really important is make sure that there is something to extinguish around. So making sure that you have a bucket of water and a garden hose ready to go, fire extinguisher as well in case there are any accidents. Really, really important. But accidents do happen. So, I guess the important thing is what do you do if your child is burned? Firstly, there's one more prevention thing that I want to talk about, and this is particularly around, I guess, sparklers and, fireworks, even dud ones that haven't gone off, and of course, bonfires. And that is, don't cover them with sand or dirt to extinguish them or cool them down, because it does not work. If you cover, say, a bonfire after it's burned down to coals and you put sand over the top to extinguish it, it will stay hundreds of degrees, in Celsius, the thousands, Fahrenheit, hot for an extended period of time, for hours. That's why it's really important that it should always be extinguished with water. Always with water. Really, really important. So that's why even after a child has used a sparkler, instead of just dropping it down onto the ground or popping in a bin, it will stay hot. Put it straight into a bucket of water and that will cool it down really quickly. So that's one of the key things. But what do you do if your child is burned? First of all, stop, drop, cover, roll. If your child's clothing or you is on fire, okay, you are going to stop immediately where you are, drop to the ground, cover the face with your hands, face and mouth, and then roll. And of course, smothering the flames with any heavy blankets or coats. Okay, really important. So stop, drop, cover, and roll to extinguish the flames. Okay, but let's talk about, and obviously ambulance and cooling the burns is really, really important. But let's go with the most common thing, and that is burns from sparklers. Sparklers in the face, sparklers to the hands, and so on. And these statistics have come from the Centre for National Injury Prevention. So that's where I've gotten those stats for. I can pop the link down in the comments below to that for you. So if your child is burned their hands, for example, first thing you're going to do is keep them calm. Okay, good luck with that because it's going to be really painful. Okay, so what we want to do is remove any clothing that is that's hot. For example, if they've reached up and they're wearing a polar fleece or something like that, and that is melted to the skin. If it's melted, you're going to leave it there. So anything that is stuck to the skin, okay, you must leave there. Anything that is retaining heat needs to come off, okay? But a burn to the hand, that should be okay, all right? Next thing we're going to do is we are then going to cool the burn, and of course remove any jewelry that's on there as well. So we are going to apply a minimum of 20 minutes of cool running tap water. Really important. The other thing that you can do, you'd have one of these in your first aid kit, okay? So one of these, fill it with cool running tap water and spray. You're going to do that for a minimum of 20 minutes. Do not apply any creams or lotions or anything to that burn. Really, really important. Now, the next thing you're going to do is so we've removed any jewelry or clothing that can retain heat, okay? We have cooled the burn for 20 minutes, minimum 20 minutes with cool running tap water. And then we are going to we're going to cover first. Oh, I got distracted then. We are going to cover the burn. We're not going to use any creams or lotions or ice or anything like that, nothing. Okay, we are simply then going to cover the burn with a non-stick dressing from your first aid kit, or you can use cling film. So just loosely covering the burn and certainly not wrapping it up tightly. And then we're going to seek medical help. It's particularly important that burns in kids that have disrupted the skin, so that it's, they're either blistered or the skin has come away, they need to seek medical help because we don't want them to scar, and they're probably going to be in a fair bit of pain. Now, why don't we want them to scar? Because scars don't grow and kids have got lots of growing to do. So it's really, really important that we follow the first aid for burns. So remove any clothing that's retaining heat on the burned area or jewelry on the burned area. We are also going to cool the burn with cool running tap water for a minimum of 20 minutes. Okay, we're going to then cover the burn just with a non-stick dressing from our first aid kit, or as some just cling film, some clean cling film, but not wrapping it up tightly, and no ice, butter, burns creams, anything like that. And then we're going to seek medical help for our child. So I hope that's been useful. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye.